Welcome to the FleetUp platform. My name is Samantha and I am the onboarding specialist here at FleetUp. And today I'm going to take you through the standard package and how to use the desktop platform. When you first log in, you're going to land here on the advanced map. Here on the left, you're going to see all of your devices. A good indicator for you to know if the vehicle is on and moving is if this little icon here is green as opposed to this red icon that tells you that it's not in motion and the vehicle is not on. But you'll be able to see the last timestamp here. If I go ahead and click on any one of these, you'll be able to see the vehicle information. Now keep in mind, these are for the vehicles that have the device plugged into the OBD port and it's collecting engine data. What you'll do is you'll actually see on the map the location of where it last pinged. And if this vehicle were in motion, you'd be able to see the RPM and the speed that it's currently going at. With the vehicle in motion, you can hit Trip Trail, which will show you the start location and where the vehicle is headed. If you have an asset, which is a device that does not plug into the OBD port, it's simply just to track, you're going to see the asset info here. It also brings you to the last known location and it will show you the battery life. Live ETA is very similar to how Amazon or USPS send you a tracking link. You can do the same for your clients or your partners. So you can enter in the destination address here. You can either text that link over to your client or email. You can even add a note. And here on the bottom right, you can set the parameters and the radius for when it's considered reaching its destination. You'll also see here trip info. This is going to show you any trips that were recorded for that day. On the top right, you'll see geofence. This is where you can create an area where you can track and see the activity or even receive alerts on vehicles or devices entering or exiting that area. You'll start by searching for the start location here, the address. You can select satellite view to make it a little bit easier to see where you're looking at. And there are two ways to create your geofence. You can click on this circle icon here, which will allow you to just do a general circle and you can make it as big or as small as you'd like. Or you can select this square, which will allow you to click and draw out the shape that you would like for your geofence. You can even color coordinate your geofences if you would like. But once you've done that, you're going to select save. And this is where you're going to enter in the details. So you can enter in the fence name. Some people will put yard or office, whatever you would like to name that. And you can also add a description. You'll select the vehicles that you would like to track and decide if you want to receive entering and exiting alerts or none. You can type in an email address to receive that instant confirmation of when the device does enter or exit that geofence. And you can even add multiple emails. You just need to separate them by a semicolon, no spaces needed. Same for the phone number. You're going to follow the format of +1 and then enter in the phone number. And then you can always add another phone number as well. Once you save this, if you ever need to make any edits, you can come back into the geofence tab, hit the I here, and then make the appropriate edits. We're going to go back to the advanced map because once you have geofences, what a lot of clients will do is they'll use this utilization button to make sure maybe at the end of the day that everything is where it's supposed to be. This is going to show you the geofences and if your assets and devices are within a geofence or not within a geofence and which geofences they're currently in. So you'll be able to see here that in this particular geofence, there is one vehicle and there's one asset and there's one device that's not within any of the geofences that I have created. You can click on that number and actually see which particular vehicle or device is with or not within that particular geofence. So this is a productivity tab. This is going to show you the total distance, driving hour, stop time, idling time. And this is going to be specific to the devices that plug into the OBD port and receive that engine data. If you only have a device that tracks, you will not receive this information, but you will see a few other reports here that could be helpful, like detention geofences, detention vehicles, etc. You can select the time frame here on the top right, and you can even add a filter. Maybe you only want to see 1 or 2 vehicles, or create just different filters to make it easier for you to look at this data. Move on to fleet now. So once again, this is going to be very specific to those devices that plug into the OBD port, but you'll be able to see any engine codes, so any DTC codes that the device is receiving from the engine, events, battery, so on and so forth. Under reports, you can generate a plethora of different reports. I would suggest personally going through these and finding out which ones work for you. If you do hover over any of these reports, for example, trip data, which is one I often see, you'll be able to see on the right-hand side generally what's within that report. When you select the report, you then are going to select a time range. You can do a custom range, but one thing to keep in mind is you can only go 6 months back from today's date. So let's say you ran a report a year ago, you can still download that report, but if you're running a new report, you can only go 6 months back. You're then going to select the vehicles that you would like to run the report on. You can enter an email address or addressees to receive that report or not, and then you can select whether you're going to have a PDF file or an Excel file. Once you select that, you can check the status here. Once it's done downloading, it will say download, as you can see here. You can see who it's created by, the requested time, what format the report is in, and you can even click on this drop down here to see specifics about when you ran that report for, any vehicles that you included inside of that report. Moving on to trip, this is where you can view past trips, maybe yesterday, last week, last month, and you'll select that time frame here. And then you can click on the magnifying glass to actually see all of the trips. Maybe you have a particular trip in question. Why did this take 1 hour when it should have taken 30 minutes? You can come back in here and actually click the play button to review that trip. So you can click play. You can fast forward it if you would like. This particular vehicle on this trip was idling, so you can fast forward. And then you'll be able to actually see it moving along the trip all the way to its destination. If you would like, you can email this trip replay over to somebody. Another thing you can do inside of the trip tab is click on this green squiggly line here. That will allow you to view the trips in a different view. So you can select the date here, and you can decide to hide trips or load trips to see where that vehicle went that day. Moving forward, under geofence, you're going to be able to see the activity within the geofence. So the difference between the geofence tab and the geofence button in the advanced map is in the advanced map, that's where you create and edit your geofences. The geofence tab here is just showing you the activity within the geofence. You can select your time frame up here. You'll be able to see the vehicle, the name of the fence, entering, exiting, and how long it was in that geofence for. There is another view, which I commonly see, which is transit. This is going to show you when a vehicle is leaving one geofence and entering another and how long that took. Moving forward to the alerts, this is where you can see driving events. Once again, this is going to be for those devices that are plugged into the OBD port and receiving engine data. So you'll be able to see things like idling, hard acceleration, hard braking. If you see a number here, you can actually click on it and it will load on the right-hand side any details of where that happened, when it happened, and you can even click this button to see that on the map. Vehicle alerts. So this is going to be for the devices that are plugged into the OBD port. You'll be able to see if the device was unplugged or replugged back in, which is a good way for you to understand if someone is tampering with the device. Asset alerts. These are going to be for the devices that are not plugged into the OBD port. You'll be able to see things like low battery. If you have a device that has a cable lock, you'll be able to see when it was locked and unlocked, any cable cuts. And if you have a device that is tracking the temperature, you'll be able to see that information here. Alert history are going to be for custom alerts. So to set up custom alerts, you can either click on this gear icon here, or you can go to your name on the top right and go to the settings. Once in the settings, you'll see here on the left-hand side, the alert tab. And you'll see on the top right, you can create an alert notification. You can name the alert, select whatever type of alert you would like to receive. For example, if you want to be notified if the device is unplugged or plugged back in, you can go ahead and do that. And then you can decide how you're going to receive that notification. Maybe you want an instant text message, an instant email, a daily summary email, or even notifications on the app. Once you select how you like to receive that notification, you're going to go ahead and select the devices that you like to receive it for. You're going to enter in a phone number with the same format as before. You can enter in multiple phone numbers if you would like, or emails depending on what you selected as the notification type. And then you're going to select the time period. So if you want to receive the notifications at any time of the day, you can just leave it like this. This is in military time, or you can change it up. Maybe you want it 9 to 5. Once you've done that, you can hit create. And then now you will have that alert. You can always come back in here and edit or delete that. So in settings, we're going to start here at the account. First, we're looking at the drivers. You can register your drivers here if necessary. You can go to the admins tab and add new users. So you'll go ahead and fill out their information. And down here, you'll see a role type. There's supervisor, which has permissions to view and change everything on the platform. Observer, however, has limited access. Vehicle group will allow you to set and register new groups to group your vehicles and your assets. If we look back at the advanced map, we did add a group here that says California. So when I select that drop-down, you'll see the asset or the device that is included inside of that group. This is great if you have vehicles maybe in different districts, different neighborhoods, different states. You can go ahead and register a new group and just add that group here. Global account, these are your global account settings. Moving forward to the devices, once again, you can go to edit, and we're coming back here to the vehicle info, where you can actually change the name of the vehicle and how that appears everywhere else on the platform. And that is going to be the vehicle number. This is also where you can decide which group you're assigning it to. You can change the vehicle icon, and you can save those changes. Another thing that you can do for your devices that are plugged into the OBD port is go to alarm, edit vehicle settings, and you can edit these thresholds. So maybe you don't consider 75 miles per hour for this particular vehicle speeding. You can change it to 80, 90, whatever you would like, or maybe you can even lower it to 60. As far as assets go, you can go ahead and edit your asset, edit the vehicle settings, and this asset number once again, is the actual name that appears everywhere else on the platform. So you can change that asset number. You can assign an asset to a particular group, and you can also change the asset icon. You also have this box here to enter in any contents of that asset. Maybe it's a trailer and you want to enter in what is on that trailer. Going back to the alert setting, you'll be able to see this tab here that says alert settings. You can enable to be able to see on the map how many days a particular device has been inactive for. You can even choose to enable an inactivity alert. So maybe you want to be notified if the vehicle hasn't had any activity for 1 day, all the way through 31 days. A few last things up here, you'll see your success factors, which will give you some helpful things such as training, installation videos, and other things that will help you. The little envelope here is going to be any notifications from FleetUp, such as any updates that have occurred. Other than that, that is the desktop platform for the standard package. If you have any questions, please let your customer success representative know or your onboarding specialist, and we are more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching.